Here I'm working on this 10 Escape. It's needing a passenger side wheel bearing. This thing is in rough shape. The bearing hub was seized to the axle. It took quite a bit of work to get this thing out. If you can see the rust that's all in the hub and on the axle, it was stuck pretty good. This is what the wheel bearing sounded like once I got it off. The thing was pretty rough. Wobbles around. The wheel wobbled about 1/4 inch when you wiggled it. Here we're going to work on pressing the hub out of the bearing so that we can end up pressing the bearing out of the spindle. This is the setup we have to use. I use an old rotor with the center knocked out. It gives me a little bit of lift. A couple boards. Boards don't compress too bad when you're doing bearings. And just like that, the hub pops out of the bearing. Now we got to work on getting the rest of the bearing out of the spindle. There is a snap ring on this. Make sure you remove your snap ring before you try to press this out, or you might break something or hurt yourself. Next, I'll take an old part of a bearing and put it on the back of the spindle where this lip is to help support the spindle so we can press the bearing in. Gives it enough height so we don't have to deal with an extra arms on it around the press. Then I'll also take another part of an old bearing that's about the same diameter, or use part of the old bearing you pressed out and use that to help push the new bearing in. You cannot push in the center of the bearing or you'll damage it. You have to push on the outside. Once I finally get this thing lined up, we can work on stacking up the stack to push this bearing in. It should push in fairly easy. If it doesn't push in very easy, it's not going straight. You want to make sure you have this thing pushed in enough past the snap ring groove so you can make sure you can get the new snap ring back in. Here, I'll take a hose hook and scrape it around in the groove to make sure the groove's clean so that the snap ring will seat down in the groove all the way when we install it. Take the new snap ring that came with the bearing kit and we can install this thing by hand. And I'll take my screwdriver and hammer and tap the snap ring around in the groove to make sure it's seated all the way so it can't pop back out. Next we'll take the hub and work on getting ready to press this thing into the bearing. You can press the hub by the center section, but you have to press the bearing from the center bearing race or you'll damage the bearing. Here you see as I press the bearing into the hub, I'll keep spinning the spindle and it stays nice and free, showing that there is no pressure on the bearing. When you're done, if it does not spin free, somehow you damaged your bearing and you need to start over with a new bearing. I have all different kinds of pieces I can use to stack up for pressing bearings in and out, for pressing different bearings in and out. Over time you'll collect things to be able to press bearings in and out. This hub is ready to install.